Greetings and welcome to Epicor Eclipse ERP Sales Order Entry. This is going to cover a common back order and the scheduling of that back order for a non-stock item. Here we are in the main body of our sales order entry screen for this customer, and we're going to put in a quantity of 1 and we start typing out the item that we want, and the search drop-down pops down on us, and we're going to select this Leviton 8215 CT. As you can see from the branch information, the branch that we're in shows 0, and our other branch also shows a quantity of 0. And of course, we have an N. This is a non-stock item. We're going to go ahead and select that. So once the product has been added to the order, we can see that the availability date has been set for 5/4/18, and of course this order is being done on 4/25. And the availability is being determined by the byline. In this case, is the Leviton product. If we pull up the Leviton byline, we can see all the parameters that govern when this thing is going to become available when the purchasing agent purchases it. And it looks like in this case, it's using the minimum cycle time of 7 days. And of course, because this date, this is 7 working days, there's a weekend in between there, so that brings us to 5/4. So now that the item has been entered in the body, now we're going to go into the status tab and set the order status. And in this particular case, with a back order, our standard order status options would be call when available, call when complete, ship when available, ship when complete. In the case of complete, that means if there's several items on the order, only call the customer when all of the items on the order become available. Or since we're only dealing with one item, though, call when available will do just fine. And typically, I find warehouses, they usually will use ship when available, ship when complete, because the customer usually is wants the thing there as quickly as possible. So there's no sense in holding it up in the queue and calling them up. But every warehouse is different. Once the sales order has been completed, then the product will show up in the purchasing agent's suggested PO queue to hopefully go ahead and put in a purchase order to be sent off to the manufacturer and have this fulfilled and received. Now, depending on what's in the byline maintenance and the purchasing agent's particular style or quirks, it's entirely possible that they might delay this by a couple of days because there's a shipping target that they're trying to meet to try and lower the cost of receiving it, or they want to wait for a little bit more demand on the quantities. So keep that in mind that this may shift a bit if other constraints are involved here anyway. In this case, though, our purchasing agent's going to be Johnny on the spot and go ahead and order this one thing, and he's going to put it on a purchase order and send it off to Leviton. So our purchasing agent has gone ahead and generated a purchase order from his suggested POQ, and here's what the purchase order for this one product would look like, which would more than likely be emailed out to the vendor for fulfillment. And below that, we see miracle upon all miracles. The very same day, Leviton went and sent us the product, and our receiver in the warehouse has gone ahead and marked this received, and now it is in inventory. So our warehouse has gone ahead and received the product. It's now in inventory, and this has now triggered the next step. So our salesman's customer calling queue, this order now pops up for them to go ahead and call up the customer and find out or make arrangements for shipping. In this case, the ship via would be changed either to our truck or one of the many different trucks for delivery out to the job site, or possibly the customer is going to pick it up in the morning and would go into will call, and that would be the next step in the process. So now that we've talked to this customer and they've told us they want to come pick it up in the morning, then we'd go here and set the order status to, in this case, ship item complete. Change the ship via to will call, and the next step would be after this, the pick ticket would print out. Someone in the warehouse would pull the order, put it in the will call area, and ready for the customer to come get. And this completes our presentation on a simple back order and sales order entry. There are, of course, hundreds of variations to this that can be done, but this has just been an overview to give you an idea of the process and the common options. Hopefully this has been educational. Thank you for your attention, and as always, this is Doug Fashing.